Yeah, so sea glass has always been a fun hobby of mine. I see it as a historical treasure that is turned and spun by the ocean currents. It was trash then that suddenly becomes treasure, and I wanted to share that with Tayva.
On that day at the beach, I was with my mom. We were walking along the shore looking for sea glass.
It was like 6 a.m. in the morning, super early on this very desolate, super remote stretch of beach, but that's where things started to unfold.
And I saw an elderly fisherman in the waves, waving around his hands, signaling for help. And my mom and we saw that something was wrong, and we immediately we ran over to see what was going on with him. The elderly man, he was face down in the water, and so there was water splashing up into his mouth, into his nose.
So I told Tayva, grab his backpack. He needs to lighten the load. It's critical. She grabbed him and started dragging him without hesitation.
We pulled him out of the water about 300 feet. I was dragging him with his really heavy waders all the way back to past the shoreline. He was helicoptered over to a medical hospital, and it was found out that he had had a stroke. And so that was a really shocking revelation to me, but I'm glad he got the care he needed. It was a bit of a struggle pulling him out with his waders on, but I knew that I wasn't going to stop. I wasn't going to hesitate in what I was doing. I realized this is something important and I need to help save this man.
Seeing her have, without zero hesitation, jump in to save this man's life was an incredibly proud moment.
I have been in touch with Bob since the incident. I went up during the summer and I visited him and his wife. That was a really sweet moment. I got to go up to Monterey and speak to him over lunch.
We were able to get Bob's contact information from the sheriff, the responding police department, and connect through them.
When I met his wife, she was just so sweet. She gave me a big hug and she just thanked me over and over for what I had done. Bob shed some tears, and honestly I did too. I was just so grateful that Bob was still here and that I could see him and see his family.
Just to hear that he's thriving, he's now back to fishing and back to doing enjoyable things, I think we'll probably become and remain lifelong friends.
One of the people, a woman who had called 911 for us, she gave me a piece of sea glass that she had collected that day, and I still keep that with me now. I have it on my nightstand to just remind me about how fortunate I was to be there.
The Medal of Honor is very rarely given out. In my tenure at Girl Scouts, I've been the CEO for nearly 8 years and on staff for 18. There's a handful, I would say 3 or 4 Girl Scouts who have earned this recognition. It's quite impactful because knowing her for a few years, I wasn't surprised that she did the actions that she did to save the gentleman. Very proud and just honored that our organization did so much to prepare her. You know, we say that our motto is to be prepared and that we build girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. What a better example of both of those coming together in an extraordinary moment, and it just warms my heart.
I do feel like a hero, but I think even more than that, it's not for me about what title I'm getting from this or what award I'm getting from this. It's just that I was able to be where I was on that day and I was able to save someone's life.
Yeah, this was pretty monumental. And it was connecting in her head. She was saying, "Mom, I just saved a man's life, didn't I?" And I said, "Yeah, you sure did." And I don't think you could be prouder as a parent to know that your child really absorbed what they had learned and ultimately took a risk, took a opportunity to help those in need, and that's pretty powerful.
I hope when people hear the story of Tayva and how Girl Scouts creates an environment where girls can learn and discover their strengths and talents, that they understand that we truly are more than cookies, crafts, and camping.
And I hope that people are inspired by my story to look out for each other more often, because just having a greater sense of awareness about what's going on in the world could save someone's life.